check this out. If you can get one product to sell well on Amazon, you are officially in the top percentage of Amazon sellers. Many sellers don't sell anything. No units a day. There's 3 million sellers on Amazon or more at this point, or maybe like 2.8 million. There's millions of sellers on Amazon. Most of them sell almost nothing. There are only 160,000, I want to say, sellers who sell even $100,000 yearly. Now, when you sell $100,000 in a year, that could mean that your profit is only $10,000 or it's negative. Okay, that does not make you rich by any stretch of the imagination. Now, that is a top percentage. It's 160,000 people only, 180,000. Okay, maybe it even went up to 240. It was whatever. I'll look at the number. Only around 200,000 people out of 3 million. Okay, you're already just by selling $100,000 in a year, you're already in the top 10%, which is absolutely ridiculous because that's a side business. You cannot live on that unless, you don't live in the US, right? I guess you could live on $10,000 a year, but that's not very good at all, right? That's less than the minimum wage. So if you, listening to this, have made one product that is successful, okay, one, and it's selling maybe $100,000 a year, one product. A lot of people have products like that. You officially can become a humongous seller. Okay? Humongous seller. How? Multiplication, guys. Multiplication. I am a super strong proponent of this. Just recently, I listened to a podcast, and it was the guys from Thrashio and Carlos Alvarez. I love Wizards of Amazon, Carlos Alvarez. It's actually the podcast I'm listening to the most right now. He sells over $100 million on Amazon. Great guy, Hispanic like myself. And the problem is they were talking and they said, yeah, we don't like adding a lot of products, right? And I go, I was a bit shocked that this conversation was being had because I was like, huh? What do you mean? Like, adding products is the reason our business is growing so well. And so what's happening is probably, I don't know what's happening and I don't know why, okay? But I'll tell you my viewpoint and how we've grown. This year, we're going to grow over 400% or 4x growth. I guess that's 300% growth, or we'll be at 400% sales at an already pretty good sized business. How is we're adding a ton of products, okay? So you need to do the business aspect of putting the people in place to do it. But if you can get one product that sells 100,000, well, what if you do 10 products, then the same way, then you get to 1 million. You do 100 products, you get to 10 million. And I talk about this all the time, and this is normally my number one suggestion to anybody already selling on Amazon. Whatever amount of SKUs, stock keeping unit, right? This is just a product, the name of a product on Amazon. Whatever amount that you have, it's not enough. Unless you don't want to make more money, which is fine. Then it's enough, right? Like, you need to define your goals. But if you want to sell more, the biggest, and I'll actually, know what? I want to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you a story. Probably I've gone over it on this podcast before, but if you haven't heard it, definitely listen up. Our business in 2017, I believe it was, probably 2017, May, June. I think it was June or July 2017. Our business almost was entirely destroyed because the lesson from this podcast was not learned, okay? At the time, we had maybe 3 or 4 products, 5 products, I want to say. And my idea was, I'm going to hire an amazing writer, guy who can write so well. I'm going to hire a person to manage the ads full time. I'm going to hire a person who just does keyword research. I'm going to build this entire team. We weren't selling very much. I want to say $120,000 a month, something like that, probably. And with all the salaries and everything, I was like, that's what's going to happen. Because I know one product, all we got to do is double the sales on this and this. And then like, we're going to be amazing. And I did this. The first month, our sales went up a little bit. And I go, this is amazing. So I was very happy with the ads person that we hired. And then I'm like figuring out the next system. And like, this is how you do keyword research. And doing getting every single last keyword for the product. Every single keyword. I'm like, one keyword that searches get searched 100 times a month. If you get one sale from that, oh my gosh, like that was my thought process. This is me starting off. It's going to make such a huge difference. If I do the ads just right, I'm going to do so well. I'm going to make that title be so beautiful, and it's going to give me, it's going to be so perfect. The entire focus went to that. After about 2 months, I want to say, the sales the conversion rate didn't change, right? The percentage of people buying did not change at all. We would change titles, we change all the bullet points, we change everything. We change almost everything. We do new images, and like conversion rate sometimes would go up, sometimes it'd go down. I couldn't keep track of like, well, did it really go up? Did it go down? Was it just because it's Saturday? I need to keep. It was so confusing. And in the end, after 2 or 3 months, our profit was essentially down to practically zero. Because I want to say it was maybe like $400 a day, $500 a day, but then I had the salaries, and then brought it down to I was working for like maybe $10 an hour, when before all of this I was maybe working for $45 or $50 an hour programming. I just literally cut my income by 5 times. Why? Because my entire focus was on trying to milk and squeeze the sales out of the existing products. That was all that I was thinking about. And it was terrible. Okay. So we had to let go of some people. The ads, we're spending too much on ads. The writer person's writing those stuff is not with us today. We repurposed another person. So here's what happened. Like, I had a moment, I'm like, I got to change something. Okay. Because you cannot keep doing the same thing, because I was just going to literally go into nothingness. So we got rid of one person, maybe 2 people actually. One person who was doing keywords, they switched to doing new products. And then let me see, the last person, yeah, they wanted to leave because they got an amazing job offer somewhere else, and I wasn't gonna. Anyway, so that's what happened. New team. Instead of having like 4 or 5 people, we have 2 people picking products, and then it was me doing the ads, which I was learning more and building systems. That year, we ended up adding only 4 products, I think, by the end of the year. But those 4 products that we added, each sold $100,000. Okay. So I think one of them was terrible, and then the other ones did like 133 average. So then it was like 400,000 between 4 products. And I go, if every product I add gives $100,000 in a year in sales, I'm like, why can't I do that again and again and again and again and again? So that test, the person who was doing one product, sourcing, the plan was to do 1 every week, no matter what. 52 products. That coming year, which I believe was 2018, then we added 75 products, because we beat the goal, which was 52. We added about 75, and that year our sales, I think, tripled. Okay, what the flip? I mean, that is amazing. That is absolutely freaking amazing. Or it doubled. I think it doubled. I mean, I have to figure out the numbers. Anyway, so we're in 2020 right now. 2019. That was 2018. Yeah, it doubled. Okay. So that year it doubled, which is fantastic. The year after that, we did a triple, and that was again by continuing to add products. So the bottom line is, the difference for me, for almost going bankrupt, or basically not being able to even pay our staff and having to have layoffs, fire people because we literally were not making money, to now having a staff of over 50 people all over the world, and it not being a problem, we're looking for more people. The one difference for me personally, I'm not giving you advice of things that I think you should do theoretically. For me, when my focus was on getting the products to sell more, they barely sold anymore. And now when the focus is to add a ton of products, our existing products are starting to sell a lot more for whatever reason. Okay. Where yes, we have ads people. Yes, we have like software. Yes, we're doing a lot of good things. We're making videos, we're doing stuff. We have like, I think 10 designers on staff. Yes, all those things are happening, but the focus is adding a ton of products. And then with the profit and the earnings from all these new products, then you can afford to hire more designers. Not just a person's going to change your bullet points and you expect that's going to make a huge change in your business. I think video makes a big difference. Your main image makes a big difference. The main one, biggest difference. But more than anything, the number of SKUs you have, number of products that you have is the absolute most important thing. I'm going for 10,000 SKUs. If I have 10,000 SKUs, and that's my goal. It's my personal goal. to get our company to 10,000 SKUs. If we're at 10,000 SKUs, they each do like, I think it's $100. Then you're at, boom, $1 million a day. 10,000 SKUs, $100 a day. If you have been able to get a product to sell $100 a day, then you need to figure out how to multiply that and have your salaries not surpass the margin. It's a mathematical formula. If you can figure that thing out and then hire out those jobs to make it happen over and over and over again for less than all those products are going to make, then you can make $1 million a day business. Okay. Sounds like pretty crazy, pretty out there. But at this point, we've done it for over 100 products, 200 products. We're going to, next year we'll have in the thousands of products. And look, yes, I know numbers pretty well, but just a few years ago I need to find a job, working just a desk job, have no particular skill except just wanting to learn and being dedicated. With that alone, was able to build something pretty amazing. But why? I learned that lesson that I couldn't just optimize products forever. And that's what my upward trajectory is about. So I recommend, if you have an Amazon business or you're selling products on Amazon, what you need to add is products, more products. If you can figure that out, of course, don't add 200 products when you start. And if you have that kind of capital to invest like $1 million, okay, maybe if you have maybe an Amazon specialist and stuff like that, sure. But if you're like me and you're starting with maybe money on your credit card, something like that, okay, start with one, but as quickly as possible. Okay, keep track of your profit. Okay, Samurai Sellers, our software, it keeps track of the profit. Absolutely key, because you can see how much profit each product is making after the fees, after the storage fees, after the ads, after your costs, after the refunds, returns, after everything. You'll see exactly how much money you made on that product. With that information, once you have a product that's making money, that's profitable, consistently, you need to repeat that and keep going, because they feed on each other. It's just fantastic, guys. So just today, we found a guy who works for us in the Philippines. Their mom, okay, actually bought one of our products. Sorry. The neighbor had bought the product, brought it over to her house. I was like, I love this product. It's like, my son works for that company. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. We're literally, this year we'll sell to over 2 million people. Okay. That is ridiculous. 2 million orders. I guess maybe if one person bought so many, it wouldn't be 2 million people, but 2 million orders, which is absolutely ridiculous. Almost 1% of the population in a single year that our company is reaching. How does that happen? Because we're selling a ton of products. Not just one, not just two, hundreds. So that's what I do personally. And whenever I talk to anybody about Amazon and they're like, hey, how do I sell more? That is always my answer. Always, always, always add more products. Unless, of course, you have a ton of products and none of them sell, then that wouldn't be the answer. But most people that want to grow already have a successful company. Keep adding products and you'll sell more. Thanks.